Hello everyone, this is Remleiz from 40k Theories, and welcome to this new episode of Adeptus Podcastus. And joining me once again is Tactica Imperialis.
Hello everyone, sorry I wasn't on the last episode. Mum duties called, so I was indisposed. Thank you very much for Voldemort for stepping in my stead and swearing up the place, if the comments are anything to go by. Then again, I can't really talk, so yes, thank you, and hello.
Hello, or hello, or whatever. Yes, it's been a very busy few days, a busy week in fact, because shortly after we recorded the last episode, Adepticon happened, so that's going to be the big thing we talk about in this episode, as you can
there's 8
imagine.
separate articles to talk about, although admittedly 2 of them are just fucking, there you go, I'm as bad as Voldemort, are just book stuff, so it won't actually take that long, so 6 major things.
Yes, so may as well just jump into Adepticon then. So shall we start at the top of the hub article with the Space Wolves?
Oh, because then when they're in numerical order on the hub article, then actually the Wood Elves are at the top. But yeah, Space Wolves works too. Okay.
Because the version I'm looking at is
Wolves.
Space Wolves first.
Yes, the first article is Space Wolves, but there's a list at the top that goes 1 to 8 of these are the things we revealed, and Wood Elves are at the top of that list. So it's in reverse order on
the mobile
links. So the links are in reverse order. The list is in chronological order. So I know Space Wolves went last.
Fucking hell.
Organised. Yes, Space Wolves. You, of those who've been around long enough, know that I am a Magnus fangirl and always have been. Magnus did nothing wrong on purpose. And yes, that is the line I'm sticking to. Die on that hill. So I do not like Space Wolves. I never have. And that was before TTS got its hands on them and completely destroyed them. But I have to be honest, I quite like what they've done with this new Space Wolves army set, where they've kind of gone, yeah, we still don't care about Primaris. We're just going to make our Space Wolves look like actual old school Space Wolves, even though they're actually Primaris.
Yeah, I was going to point out how one of them's got like the old Mark 7 helmet.
Yeah, and some of them have got the edgeless shoulder pads as well.
Yeah, and some of these bolt rifles actually look like just regular bolt guns as well. I don't know if that's because of the angle, but some of them look very bolt gun rather than bolt rifle.
No, they do. I've seen enough intercessors in my time to know the difference, and they have gone out of their way to basically say, yeah, we know, and that's actually because they're not bolt rifles, they're bolt carbines.
Ah.
So they're actually designed to be lighter, fire on the move weapons for these Grey Hunters so that they can get into combat more easily.
Yeah.
But they've actually done a full, this is as deep a redesign as when they redid the Space Wolves in 2009, 2010, when they brought out Canis Wolfborn, for example. And they've redone Bloodclaws, Grey Hunters. They haven't just made one kit does plenty. They seem to have made at least 2 separate kits. Where Bloodclaws, obviously, your melee troops, they're supposed to be scouts in the lore, and one of them's a beaky. There's even a beaky in the Bloodclaws, which is
always weird to see in anything that's not Raven Guard.
Indeed. Then you've got your Grey Hunters, who are your equivalent to intercessors, but may as well be pseudo-assault intercessors, because they all want to get into melee as well, and they all carry chainswords and bolt guns, because we're too cool for just having melee knives. And then something new is the Wolfguard head takers. So Wolfguard were always a thing. These were like your company veterans and your Terminators all in one.
Yeah.
In fact, there was the same unit, just had 2 different options for them, which was Power Armor, Terminator Armor. Mm-hmm. And they've redone the Power Armor variant into a unique unit called the Head Takers, who are designed to be basically have wolf buddies and run things down. So they're a dedicated melee sort of option with storm shields and power axes.
These are just Space Wolf version of Blade Guard.
Yeah, actually, that's the unit I was trying to analogize to. So I was trying to think, what unit do these remind me of from the regular Space Marines? And it's Blade Guard veterans. I genuinely couldn't even remember their name, which is kind of awkward on my part. But yes, these are Blade Guard veterans, but swap the swords for axes and give them each a pet wolf.
Yeah, speaking of the wolves, this is going to sound really, really pedantic or pathetic on me, but I really don't like how the fur is sculpted on these. Like, they look way too scaly rather than furry. You know what I mean? Particularly when the fur cloaks as well. Like, the fur cloaks look really like... They look like they're covered in osteoderms rather than fur, you know?
I mean, I can certainly see some of them do look like porcupines. I get where you're going. I think the Wolfguard battle leader, who's the equivalent to a Primaris lieutenant for those not keeping score, I think his fur looks better.
It looks more like a crocodile skin he's got on.
Yeah, I take your point. And they do definitely, I mean, it works. If that's the design they're going for, because Fenrisian wolves are supposed to be hardier and not that cute and fluffy, then fine. But it is definitely a decision they've made, and that's fine. It works. And I do actually appreciate the amount of options they've given the battle leader. You know, swords, axes, shields, hammers, pistols. You know, if you're going to do a Primaris lieutenant, you better come up with a billion options. And they have. So, fair enough. And they've also thrown in a wolf priest, which, if, again, not keeping score with the Space Wolves lore, because why would you? They are the chaplains and apothecaries all in one go. So, a nice army box that's got, you know, good solid infantry core for a aspiring Space Wolves player. But if you happen to be a Space Marines player, this also is a great supplement to turn your Space Marine army into a Space Wolf army. As long as, I don't know how many unique units they're going to have and how many crossover units they're going to have and how many actual basic units they're going to be allowed to take. Like, for example, are they going to be allowed to take intercessors? Are they going to be allowed to take Stern Guard veterans? We don't know. So therefore,
giving the Space Wolves history, like, it'll just be like Grey Hunters in place of, like, Grey Hunter in place of Tactical, Bloodclaw in place of Assault, you know, Wolfguard in place of, like, Veteran, yeah, that kind of thing, essentially. So I wouldn't be surprised if the new codex is like, you know, you had, like, Grey Hunter Intercessor, Grey Hunter Tactical, that kind of thing. So to kind of differentiate them or something.
Maybe, because it says there are 20 unique units, and I mean, that's Bloodclaws, Grey Hunters, Wolfguard, Wolf Priest, Wolfguard Battle Leader, various heroes, Thunderwolf Cavalry, the stupid flying boat that wants to be a Thunderhawk so bad but just isn't. I can't even remember its frippin' name.
That's the Assault Ram, isn't it?
It looks like one, yeah. I don't know what his actual name is. It's the one that's got a giant frost cannon in one variant.
Yeah. You've also got the Wolf Scouts, haven't you, as well?
Yeah. Wolf Scouts,
Terminators.
Long Fangs.
Yep.
So, yeah, in terms of what is interesting, it says 20 unique units. Is it just a 20-unit book, or is it 20 unit units and some Space Marine units on top? Because that will determine how many Space Marine players you think, oh, these look cool, are going to be able to make a pivot into becoming Space Wolf players without having to buy a new army off the rip. Because, yes, I know you could just say, oh, my Assault Intercessors are now treated as Bloodclaws and get away with it. Oh, my Intercessors are now Grey Hunters if they could take bolt rifles and get away with it. But how far is that going to get you, and how transferable are the current Space Marine roster to the new Space Wolves? Because Blood Angels and Dark Angels players have not had this problem.
No. But given how bare bones the Emperor's Children Codex is, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just 20 units for the entire book.
This, sadly, is true. Speaking of, we got an update to the roadmap for 40k at the end of this article.
We did.
So Space Wolves are very much around the corner alongside the 3 other traitor legions that are not called Emperor's Children. More on them later. Yep. And then you've got Knights in all their variants, actually. Imperial, Chaos, Grey, and Medieval. So you can have all of that with the Black Templars.
I think the correct term is Teutonic.
Oh, right, thank you, yes. But you've got
because
the point.
Dark Angels are also Knights, remember, so...
Yes, fine. And then on the horizon is Salamanders, Imperial Fists, and Votan.
Correct. Also, did you see at the end of the stream for another one they teased that's not on the roadmap?
No.
Which it just says...
The stream was at 3 in the bloody morning. No.
I don't know if you watched the video on demand, but anyway. But it just says the future, yeah, which is just a vague Space Marine silhouette. I'll put a picture in the chat for you.
Mm-hmm.
We've already figured out who that is. It's Raven Guard.
How the frick?
And the reason we know it's Raven Guard is because if you overlay a very specific piece of Raven Guard artwork from the first founding book, it matches the silhouette perfectly.
Wow, you giant pile of nerds. Well done.
It was solved that day.
This is the problem. It's the same thing I've talked about my enjoyment of COD Zombies in the past. Like, things get solved too quick these days thanks to the internet.
I'm just more surprised, like, out of all the chapters to give a codex, why Raven Guard?
I also think this is going to raise an interesting question that I don't think we have an answer to yet, is how many of these are going to be codices and how many of these are going to be supplements? Because the thing is supplements suck.
Haven't all the chapter ones, at the very least last edition, weren't they all supplements? With the exception of Grey Knights, maybe?
Yeah, Grey Knights are a completely unique roster. 8th, they were.
I'm talking about 9th as well, because like, even the Dark Angels and Blood Angels and Space Wolves were supplements in 9th, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but the Codex compliant chapters never got one, is the difference. In 8th, everybody was a supplement and all the spin-off chapters got one, including the Codex compliant ones who were important, like Ultramarines, Imperial Fists, etc. Or was that 7th? That could have been 7th.
That was an 8th.
That was an 8th. But is this... Now that Black Templars, Dark Angels, Blood Angels, and Space Wolves have been re-promoted to Codex because they're non-Codex compliant, what are they going to do for the actually Codex compliant ones who literally have no unique units to their name aside from one or two characters and maybe a unique unit you could cook up?
The only one
what's the point?
The only one I can really justify getting away of being a standalone codex would be the Imperial Fists, if only for the fact you could make that a double bill for Imperial Fists and Crimson Fists. But that's the only way I can see you getting away with it.
Yeah, because you've got Pedro Cantor, Captain Lysander, and Tor Garridan. You've got 3 heroes.
If you want to bring back Alessio Cortez, that'd be awesome as well, because he's awesome.
Yes, he is awesome. But I think one of the things that happened a long time ago is when they actually stopped giving unique units to Codex compliant chapters.
Yeah.
Like, for example, the Land Raider Redeemer. Like, that is a beautiful Salamander's unit, but everybody gets it. I know the Land Raider Crusader was a Black Templars thing, but everybody gets it now.
Yeah.
The Baal Predator, admittedly...
Yeah, I was going to say, is the Baal Predator just still Blood Angel only?
Yeah, and the Space Wolves flying boat is unique to them.
Because the only thing I can justify in regards to a Raven Guard Codex is if you give them, like... great idea. Give them the Corvus Blackstar. That'd be perfect for them.
Deathwatch.
Yeah, but Deathwatch haven't got a codex, so they got to give them that somewhere. And besides,
no, it's in the Inquisition Codex.
Yeah, but my point is, differentiate them from the other Space Marines by having them have Corvus Blackstars as well, because it's a stealth plane. They had a stealth chapter, and it's named after their Primarch.
Yeah, that works.
It does work.
But salamanders are like Pyroblast. The fact that they've invented Pyroblasters and gave them to everybody.
Salamanders, yeah.
Yeah, like them and maybe Black Templars.
Yeah.
That should be it. Or maybe even like the Eradicators when they did the Heavy Melter Gunners. Again, that's such a Sally's thing.
Yeah.
But if you're just going to do it as Codex Salamanders, it's Codex Space Marines, but you can take Vulcan Histan. Frickin' hooray.
Because the only other way I can see justifying is if you just did a standalone Codex successor chapters.
But that's not what they're teasing.
No, I know it's not what it's teasing, but that's like the only way I can, actually justify getting away with having, a Codex for successor chapters. Just have them all compiled into one book.
Yeah, and piss even more. I'll piss everybody off. Not
really, no. Considering they kind of did that in 3rd edition with the Index Astartes, because those were both lore articles, and they also had chapter or Legion specific army lists all compiled together. So like one book you have like a Sons of Horus army list, you have like White Scars army list, World Years, all in the same book.
Actually, yeah, maybe.
You can get away with it if you do it properly. I should add as a massive caveat, if you do it properly.
Yeah, there's a huge if there.
Yes. But speaking of knights and that, next up we've got Crusade Armageddon, which is focusing on demons and Grey Knights. And yet, it's about Armageddon, and you're not including the Armageddon Steel Legion. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, I'm going to... the phrase Angron hadn't had enough of being punked out like a little bitch at the first time round, so he came back for another fucking go.
And will still
how many? No, actually, I stand corrected. He's been punked out like a little bitch twice on Armageddon. He got beat in the first war by Grey Knight bullshit, and then I swear he was on Armageddon at the time of the Noctis Aeterna as well.
Yeah.
So this grown-ass man, demon man, has been punked out like a bitch by Armageddon fucking twice, and still hasn't had enough.
Also, sorry for that noise just coming from mine just now. Someone with a very small penis just drove by. Anyway, carry on.
You may also slightly hear the gun drone having a giggle downstairs, so don't worry. There's probably going to be a fair bit that goes through the audio filter today. I would not worry. So, yes, there are 43 pages of story and 3 separate campaigns. It doesn't say just Grey Knights. It just says Imperial, so you might get away with it. And you can actually see one of the things for the Crusade abilities that shows Grimaldus. So, they're not just saying this is Grey Knights versus Khorne. It's not. The Orcs are still here because it says 3 factions, 3 separate alliances.
They better include the Steel Legion in this, otherwise I'll be very upset because the Steel Legion are awesome.
The other thing that's cool is you actually get to play warp battles ish. Hellscape rules that let you play on warp-infused battlefields.
Nice.
Which is kind of cool. But yes, the main highlight here is there's a new Grey Knight Codex. I'm going to be honest, they haven't done a lot, at least as far as we know. We know they are doing more to it. They say they're going to cover it in more detail down the line. But all they've done so far is update the Nemesis Dread Knight with new weapon options. Those new weapon options being a flail, which is completely unfucking practical on a Dread Knight, a mace, which is actually cool, and what looks like a melter cannon?
Like a quad melter, it looks like.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. As well as, actual Grandmaster parts. So, you always said you could put a Grandmaster in a baby carrier. Now you actually get to look like a Grandmaster in a baby carrier.
Is this a brand new Dread Knight sculpt, or is it just like an upgrade kit that's going in the regular
They
Dread
say
Knight?
It is an updated Nemesis Dread Knight with plenty of additional parts. It doesn't... I don't know the Dread Knight kit well enough to know if this is an upgrade sprue or an upgrade a kit with an extra frame, or if it's a brand new kit. Looking at it, with the amount of extra bits and gubbins that seem to be on it, I'm going to give GW the benefit of the doubt for now and say it's a new Dread Knight.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
Boom.
Justice for Big E. But anyway, not that Big E, the other one.
Well, in this case, that Big E.
Well, yes.
With the Grey Knights. But yes.
I was going to say, speaking of codices now, we got some news regarding the other 3 Traitor Legion codices.
I did a thing.
What?
I did a thing.
What did you do?
After I saw this.
Is it safe to actually say on stream or what?
Yeah, I may have decided that I'm the one person on the internet who actually likes the new Thousand Suns robots. Like, a lot. Like, the overwhelming opinion on the internet seems to have been absolutely shitting on them.
Well, let's start off with the World Eaters, because they're first on the page. Let's start with them first.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the new Slaughterbound, which is basically just an 8-bound that's got Bloodthirster shoved in his ass and replacing his arm with a sword. It seems underwhelming. I don't know why. Like, I expect, being told this guy's got a Bloodthirster bound to him. I expected him to have I don't know, maybe vestigial wings, or maybe his arms replaced with an axe rather than a sword. That kind of thing.
It's not even a sword; it's a chain sword.
Yeah, but he should have a big axe to emphasize that, or his arm turning into a whip at the end or something, like the whip Bloodthirsters have. Something to show he is one with a Bloodthirster.
Yeah, you could pass him off and say, he is just an upgraded version of the 8-bound, but there's not enough there to say, this is a guy who's got a demon in his soul as powerful as a Bloodthirster. You could say that was a Herald of Khorne like a herald of Khorne that embodied a mortal vessel and say this is like a leader for that, and I'd buy it. I'd buy that for $1. But this is someone who should be like above and beyond even the guys riding juggernauts.
Yeah, I mean, there's an artist called Dicey June, and they've done an actual...
Heard of them.
Yeah, they've done a mock-up of how they think this Slaughterbound should look. I'll put it on screen now for those asking. And it looks so much better because it helps emphasize the idea. Like, you know, having like wings bound into like the rune of Khorne kind of thing. I really like that.
Just something. Like, that definitely adds a bit more oomph to the mini. Obviously, you know, GW would design it slightly differently, the pose would probably look different. But yeah, something that makes it look more... Actually, imposing. I think the thing that's missing, and I know his face looks all warped if you zoom in, but he doesn't look very bestial. And I think...
I get what you mean, yeah.
Like, I think there's an aspect of this bestial fury of being demonically possessed by a literal incarnation of murder that should not... It seems like, yes, it's warped his body, yes, but not to the level you would think. Like, it feels like this is him, like, 5 minutes after the Bloodthirster got shoved in.
Yeah.
But anyway, that might just be me. The Death Guard, thanks, probably leaks, because... Oh no, the LVO wasn't even a leak. The LVO Lord of Poxes gives you a new Death Guard unit. We'd already seen him. But
now we can talk about the robots, which are basically just Thousand Suns version of Ushabti.
They are automata, yeah. And the thing is the Thousand Suns have done this before. Not in this way, but, like, obviously, I don't think they ever had models, but I feel like somewhere in Thousand Suns lore, there are automata used a long ass time ago.
They were, yeah. They're called the Osiron, I think they're called, something like that.
They're Dreadnought. The Osiron were the Dreadnoughts, the Psychic Dreadnoughts. I know that. I know the Osiron were Psychic Dreadnoughts because there was a unit from the Heresy books for Thousand Suns called the Osiron Dreadnought.
Yeah. It was so... the Castellax Achaea.
That sounds more sensible, yeah. I knew they had, like, Mechanicum robots of their own, psychically charged and all this.
Yeah, so these ones.
That's it. I knew they had fucking robots. I knew they did. So, yes, the Thousand Suns have always had robots, and obviously add the ancient Egyptian Ushabti vibe to that, and also the fact that in the Ahriman books, there's Credence, which is on a battle automata of sorts as well in the Ahriman books. It just... Something about them, dumb as they do somewhat look, like, I'm not going to sit here and say they're the greatest minis GW have ever made, but just something about them just says, yes, this is a logical thing for a legion with incredibly limited numbers to do that links to what they already did. It's thematically appropriate. It's just really cool. And also, you know, they have inbuilt stealth because they've got runes of obfuscation engraved into them. And they've got all sorts of ridiculously cool Hellfire missiles and all this stuff. I don't know. Just something about these robots makes me go, this is really freaking cool.
I mean, let's be honest. It's just nice that the Thousand Suns are getting something that isn't a character or Zangor for once.
Yeah, I am on record as very much wanting to dunk on Zangor. But that, like, I may be the one person on the internet that actually likes these robots, and I may be the second. I don't know. I haven't particularly let you get a word in edgeways yet.
I think people would like these more if it was given a different color scheme. So I think the bone color scheme is what putting a lot of people off.
Yeah,
like, if they were primarily blue, for example,
blue and white.
Yeah,
invert the blue and white.
Yeah, I think they look better if they were like predominantly blue kind of thing. Yeah,
and that wasn't the thing. The thing is, I may have bought some Rubrique and Scarab Occult Terminators secondhand.
Also, have you noticed their faces? They got little Ironkin faces.
Underneath, oh, so they do. That's cool. But yeah, I may have bought a small Thousand Suns army. That's going to be my project this year. I had my Inquisition last year. I did my Inquisition project. I've just got a few Arbites to paint. The project's basically done. It's done. I've got like 2 squads of agents. I've got Greyfax. I've got my Assassins. I've got my Arbites. I've got a couple of Priests. I had a Navigator just because it's cool. I've finished the Inquisition project. I don't want any Grey Knights or Citadels or Death Guard. Like, all I might throw in there at some point is a Rogue Trader. The project's done. Mm-hmm. And my Tower done. Let's be honest, I'm not going to get any more new Tau because I've got the Vespid, done all that. My Orcs, I haven't literally bought a model for about 10 years. So, and AOS, my stuff at AOS is basically dead at this point because I never get time to play it with anybody. I got the odd mini here and there, but I've sold my Lumineth, I've sold my Slanesh, apart from the Demons because I might keep hold of those in case the Emperor's Children player wants them, or whatever. It's a cool little project. It will only be like 1,000 points. It'll be some Rubricate, some Scarab Cult, a couple of heroes, and these robots. And maybe Ahriman if it fits.
Maybe.
That's it. I don't plan to make this a big project. I don't want new Magnus. I think the old was much better. I don't want Zangor. I don't want Demons. I just think it's a little cool thing because the Thousand Suns to me are much cooler when you just have the walking army of psychic zombies. I think that's just a lot cooler as a small elite force of Terminators and Marines who are just a force of psychic tiny baby zombies. I think that's really cool. Adding Zangor in there is bullshit. I don't want Mutilated Vortex Beasts. I don't want any of the vehicles. I just want a cool little force and that's it. Am I okay with that? Slightly. It's like £100 to get 10 rubrics, 10 Terminators, and a bunch of heroes. And I've traded some club stuff for a squad of Rubricae, so I've got everything I need apart from the robots and maybe Ahriman. I've already bought everything I need, so let me have this one, okay? Is it okay? Am I all right?
I was just going to say, it's funny you mentioned about the Mutilith, because you just remind me of like, did the World Eaters ever get access to the Slaughter Brute? Because you think they would, wouldn't you?
I don't know. I haven't read the World Eaters Codex, TBQH.
Because if they didn't, that's kind of a missed opportunity. You're like, hey, it's a Cornet armor, give them the big Slaughter Beast. That would be perfect for them. You know.
Yeah, basically, but oh well.
Never mind. We got some chapter-approved mission decks. Do we really care about that?
No.
No, okay. Spearhead Sand and Bone General's Handbook?
No.
Oh, no? Okay.
Well, there's new Spearhead boxes, but there's no new minis in them. Like, Cities of Sigmar, it's a cool little thing. You get the Command Corps, a squad of guys, and the Ogre Warhawk. Cool. The Seraphon get one with some, well, a bit of everything, actually. The Ossiarch get a really elites box, which is quite a cool little Spearhead to have, where they've got nothing but the really, really elite shit. And then the Ogres get basically an Ogre army ready to go. It's got the Hunter, it's got Noblars, it's got Bulls, it's got Iron Guts, and it's got an Iron Blaster. What more could you want?
Fair enough. In which case, should we move on to Kill Team then?
Yes, Kill Team Typhon.
I know it's got nothing to do with Typhus. Wow.
Actually, yes. So, this is a really interesting box because we at Warhammer Club have got several Toaster fanatics, and this Kill Team blew their tiny minds.
Yeah, even though some of the models are themselves old, like the Techno-Archaeologist, that actually originally came out in the Blackstone Fortress expansion pack.
I recognise the name. I have to say, the mini's quite old, so I wasn't actually sure if it was that one.
Yeah. I think most of these models are, for the Mechanicus side, are fairly old, I think.
Yeah, the Servitors are... Are they the same as... Yeah, they're the same as... No, the Heavy Bolter one is the same one that the Inquisition gets.
Yeah.
The one with the Volk... I'm going to say Volkite, I'm probably wrong... is new or unique.
I think the Breacher ones, like the Breacher, the Technomedic, and the Autoproxy, I think those are new as well.
They're new. The Combat Servitors have new weapons as well, and I think are also new. So it's just the Techno-Archaeologist and possibly the Gun Servitor that are older. The Underseer is new.
Is it? Looks very familiar. I might be confused with another one, but it looks very familiar.
I'm willing to be wrong, but...
I'm willing to be wrong as well, but yeah.
Yeah. Either way, it's a cool kill team, like a Servitor kill team That's a really cool concept, which allows them to literally be completely linked together, channeling their motive force to better placed allies. So they literally give up their move to help each other move faster or move more skillfully because of the noosphere, which is a really cool concept for a kill team. I like that a lot.
I'm kind of surprised the Nidkill team is Raveners, though. I would have figured it'd be like Lictors and Von Ryan's Leapers or something, but Raveners is a interesting choice.
It's because it's all about, there's been earthquakes. Every time the gun goes off, there are earthquakes. And so it's all set like underground, as it were. So I think that's partially why they've gone Raveners.
Right.
But they're also older minis that needed an update. So
yeah, I would say this. I like the Fell Talon and I like the Tremor Scythe.
Yeah.
But I have to say, the Prime with his massive mohawk, it's like it's a bit silly.
I admit, I'm really surprised, confused. I don't know. The color scheme is messing with my head a little bit.
It's a new High Fleet, apparently.
This oscillating blue-white flesh, and then
pink,
black and blue chitin with orange bits for funsies. It's a really weird color scheme, but still, it's an interesting concept, and I like the design. The basic warrior, take or leave, but the Wrecker, it's got the crushing claws. I think that's a really nice mini. And it's got the mace tail as well. The Venom Spitter, the angle does it no favours.
I love the fact it's got basically just like a death spitter for like a face.
Yeah, and they've actually thought about, oh, hey, where does it get the ammo? Oh, have a giant bulbous sack on its back. That makes sense.
It does.
But yeah, they've only got like 5 operatives, so you can only actually take 5 in the army, but you get to literally teleport. They can tunnel underground across the board.
Yeah.
So that's a really cool, unique mechanic of like, yeah, if it's like almost like you're playing, and I know this is an obvious reference to Tyranids, it's like you're playing against the aliens, the xenomorphs, where they literally, there's very few of them, they're incredibly powerful, but they can also come from anywhere. But if you can kill one, then you're going to have a hugely easier time.
Absolutely, yeah.
So yeah, cool concept. There's a lot of Tyranid terrain stuff as well, which is always nice. So yeah, really nice pair of kill teams, and the Admech one definitely got a lot of people excited at Warhammer Club, I will say.
I'd say we also got a lot of people excited.
The best bit. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. This is the best bit.
Yes. I assume you mean a Grand Cathay.
I do mean Grand Cathay. Fucking hell. We knew this was coming after they turned up in Total Warhammer 3, but fuck me, did they do a good job.
Yeah, I have to say, it would have been nice if they didn't actually spoil the review in the stream thumbnail. But hey.
Again, didn't watch the stream, so to me, I just opened the article in the morning and went, holy crap, they did Cathay. And then I went through it, and I found, oh hey, Jade Warriors, okay. They've got hand weapons or halberds. They've got 30 of them. 2 squads of 15. Nice. Jade Lancers. I mean, you can barely see their faces, but they look really freaking cool. And you know me, I have a big penchant for chunky, heavy cavalry. So, yes, cool. The Cathayan Grand Cannon, which is basically, yeah, I imagine Chinese cannon, and this is what you get with the Dragon's Maw.
Which also has a firework variant.
Yep, the Fire Rain rocket battery. Also like the fact that they've got both humans and ogres on the team, which is kind of nice. Which is nice. Although, admittedly, it is just a direct rip-off of the Great Cannon and Hellstorm rocket battery. Let's not beat about the bush here. It is.
Yeah.
And then, holy hell, and I'm really sorry to any people who are from this part of the world, the Shugengan Lord on Great Spirit Longma.
Yes. I think they actually updated this article, because I'm pretty sure this article originally said it was just a dragon horse. And they've actually given it a name now. I was like, okay.
Yeah, so these are the mortals descended from the descendants of the celestial dragon. So they're like generals, they're masters of the winds of magic and martial arts. And then you've got gate masters, so infantry hero, battle standard bearer, cavalry hero. I love the barding on that cavalry horse, by the way. Look at the head, the flaming dragon head barding. That's so cool.
Yeah. And then you got like the crazy stuff, like the Sky Lantern.
Yeah, a Chinese lantern that also happens to, be got a crew with flags and banners and providing artillery. Yeah, and the ability that you can literally give the artillery out of sight aiming. They can fire without line of sight because these guys are their line of sight. And yes, they can also firebomb you, which is just fucking cool.
Then you got the Sentinels.
Yeah, Terracotta Army. It's the Terracotta Army. And that's seriously cool.
Yeah. I would say this. I really like Miao Ying, the Storm Dragon. I think she looks awesome.
Yeah, GW once again proving that if it wants to make a good dragon mini, it freaking can make a good dragon mini. Admittedly, I will find it interesting to see how she'll work gameplay-wise, because obviously, she's a bit Marathi-ish, where she can go mortal or dragon, but obviously if she's in a unit, she can't exactly be a freaking dragon if she's attached to a unit. So we'll see exactly how she works. But that's a really, really, really awesome dragon. It's a really awesome dragon.
Mm.
And I mean, the human mini ain't half bad either, just for the record. I know we're all talking about the dragon, but the human form ain't half bad either.
Oh, no, absolutely. I was saying, and speaking of dragons, we got reveals for the Wood Elves and Beastmen, and I'm pretty sure the Wood Elves are getting the old Forest Dragon back as well. So I'm pretty sure that was actually shown online. It's not in this article. I'm fairly sure
it's not mentioned in any of the returning plastics or returning metals. It's not listed in the article about the Forest Dragon. Oh, no, it does. Sorry, the Forest Dragon is back. It just doesn't show it as a picture.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like, I'm pretty sure it did say.
It did say, yeah. But we'll start with the Beastmen. So they've got Beast Lord, Brave Shaman, classic. The Ungors, Bestigors, regular Gors, Minotaurs, good to see them back. The Cygor and Gorgon, all really nice plastics. To be fair to the Beastmen, they've always had good plastics. Kralmor, who we'd seen recently, the Blind Brave Shaman, which is cool. The Doom Bull, I've always liked the Doom Bull. I've had a penchant for the Doom Bull. And then a mini I've never seen before, the Praeton, the Corrupted Stag.
Oh yeah, that was part of the Monstrous Arcanum stuff back in the day. Same with like the Jabberslith.
I'd seen the Jabberslith and Cockatrice before because they came out later, but the Praeton I genuinely don't ever remember seeing. Or maybe I just missed it. I could have just missed it.
Yeah, because it was I think that one's got a different colour scheme than the original. Because I think the original was more grey. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe. But yeah, the Jabberslith I recognise and the Cockatrice I recognise because I think they came out around the time of Storm of Magic for Fantasy. And then metals, you've just got a bunch of hero characters, the Battle Standard Bearer, of course, and Centaurs and Goros Warhoof. If you really want to torture yourself, you can get Centaur.
Oh, I just noticed the colour scheme for that Praeton is actually based off the actual artwork from Monstrous Arcanum.
Ah, neat.
Yeah.
Oh god, the Razor Gore, I remember that. That stupid pig that's just a jillion too many muscles.
Everyone loves the pig.
It's basically, what if Pumbaa got jacked?
Pumbaa with roid rage. No, I'll tell you what, it's basically if Scott Steiner became Pumbaa.
With about as many brain cells. Anyway.
Yes.
As for the Wood Elves, they're getting back the...
Dragon.
The Forest Dragon, indeed.
Yes.
But they're getting loads of stuff. So Araloth, Eternal Guard, Glade Guard, the Sisters of the Thorn, basically everything you could possibly need with the cavalry and infantry. And then loads of metals as well, like so the eagles, the dragons, the stags, a load of Wood Elf Lords who I recognise, and Orion himself. Nice to see Orion back. As well as Lords, Mages, Branch Witches. Admittedly, I thought the Branch Wraith survived and went into Sylvaneth. Clearly not.
Apparently not.
And also, they're saying the Tree Man is coming back. I also find it weird that they haven't actually just thought, you know what, let's just use the same Tree Lord that AOS has got. I know it's a slightly different scale now. It's a bit bigger with the new Tree Men, but I really am surprised to see the Tree Lord is not involved.
Probably because they don't want to have a model that looks so much better than the rest of the army.
This is possible. Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Anyway, that's Adepticon. It's taken us the best part of an hour, but some really cool minis. For all of GW's abilities, they always know how to pump out cool minis. And for once, 40k actually came out with some nice stuff. I've said this before, AOS's designs are generally better than 40k's. And the lack of AOS stuff is pretty ridiculous that AOS isn't even here, apart from, oh hey, we made some Spearhead boxes, guys. Look at us, aren't we cool? Please say how many. It don't work like that. But yeah, 40k's got loads, Kill Team's got some nice stuff, and Old World got what it needed, and more besides, because Cathay looks friggin' amazing, so...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I think it's a good start.
Yes. Sticking with Adepticon, they also had the Golden Demon winners.
They did, yes.
I've not seen these yet, so do you want to go in blind?
No, blind reactions?
Yeah.
Blind reaction.
Let's take a look at only the golds, because how many categories there are, and given the time, let's just go for the golds.
Yeah.
As in regards to, I'm only putting golds on screen. I'm not putting every single fucking thing. So if you want to see the full list, check the link in the video description below.
Yeah, absolutely. So starting with 40k, we've got it's a custom big mech.
This is 40k single miniature, we should say.
Yeah, it's a custom big mech. It's not Black Hawk.
That's really nice.
It made me think for a second, is that Uftap Black Hawk's gun? But it's not. That feels like a custom build almost.
I remember the face. The face was from one that was revealed around the time of the Beast Snaggers.
Yeah, I recognise the head.
Yeah. So I think it might be based off a Beast Snagger.
Yeah. I know we're not showing them, but shout out to the silver with that Sisters of Battle. I'm going to assume sort of like war abbot of some kind.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that base.
The base. It's actually, I think that's AOS. I think it's, oh no, it's got the names of the saints on.
Ooh. Oh, that might be from the Triumph of St. Catherine model, maybe.
Possibly, and then the kneeling pilgrims painted look like stone statues. I think that's
that is awesome.
Whoever's, Nicholas Mortensen, you've outdone yourself there, sir.
And third place Dante, just a very nice, clean paint job.
I would guess non-metallic metals.
Yeah, definitely. It looks nice. Really nice.
It does.
Right. 40k unit and kill team. We have a squad of Sisters of Battle.
Not even a squad. Like, you've got random Tus and Celestians.
Yeah, sorry, I thought it was all Seraphim, my bad. Yeah, but yeah, we got a group of Sisters of Battle in the middle of a last stand, it looks like.
You would assume so, given the fact that she is... I like the way they've got her down on the ground, still firing. I think that's a really cool pose.
I love the mosaic floor.
Yeah, again, people really understand that basing is important.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Hello, Dante again.
Oh, Dante as well. And
yes, Dante and yeah.
And then we got Celestine and the Gemini.
Yeah, Sister Battle clearly very popular.
Yeah, I have to say that first place well fucking deserved.
Agreed. The other two haven't got a scratch on it. That's not to say they're bad, but they're not a scratch from the other two.
That just goes to show just how good the first place one was. Right.
Agreed.
40k large miniature or vehicle, and we have a Cult Onaga Doomcrawler. A Gene Stealer Cult Onaga Doomcrawler. Looks nice.
Yeah, it does. Admittedly, I very much think that the Death Killer Wartrike flying off a broken exit ramp that's come silver, I feel like that is infinitely cooler.
That's funny. I like that. And the third one is, what's it called again?
Not Tyrannofex. Oh.
I forgot the name of the bloody thing.
Oh, what's the name of the thing?
I was going to call it Dominatrix, so no, that's a different creature.
No, is it like... Oh, Norn Emissary.
That's the one. Yeah, Norn Emissary.
God, we struggled on that one for a minute. Whoops.
Yeah, I have to say, like, this one's much closer.
The Dunecrawler looks nice, but there's nothing... apart from the conversion...
I like the basing.
And some really neat painting.
I like the basing. It really helps convey, like, just like some kind of like arid wasteland kind of thing, like, like scrubland.
And the battle damage.
Yeah.
The painting of the battle damage is, on the hazard stripes especially, is incredibly impressive. Like,
again,
that takes a lot of work.
Yeah. Much closer fought. Much closer fought this
Agreed.
One. Right. Age of Sigmar single miniature, and we have a Nurgle boy.
No, it's not Epimetheus. It's
Epidemius.
It's Epimetheus's timekeeping cousin.
Yeah, it's Epidemius, I think they're looking for.
Yes, sorry.
Epimetheus is a Grey Knight.
Oops.
Wrong guy.
Oops. Oops. But yes, really cool. I mean, Nurgle's hard to get wrong. But yeah, really impressive. I like the distended belly. You can see the warping of the entrails and all the colour changes of the flesh all over the place. And the wood, oh my god, that wood's impressive.
Yeah, that really is. And then you have...
Aren't you a Slaneshi demon prince of some kind?
No, it's not a demon prince. It was like an elite unit for Hedonites, wasn't it?
That's not a Hedonites unit. I had the Hedonites book. That's not a mini that exists.
It looks familiar. I'm pretty sure it might do. Let me check.
Unless it's a newer one from like a second or third wave of Slanesh stuff, I don't recognise that mini at all. And yet it does have that strange familiarity. I want to say it's like a demon prince. I really do.
Because I swear it was from something. I swear it was. Huh. Apparently not. I'm going to keep looking just in case it's got a different name rather than just looking for Slanesh.
Well, while you do that, I'm going to talk about Bronze, which is Taunus the Redeemed, and it looks bloody ridiculous. That flame effect and the colour changing on the cloaks from shining gold to eerie ethereal blue is a freaking cool effect. And shout out to Katarzyna Gorska. I've probably butchered your name, sorry, for your incredible piece of work. Oh, flipping out, the guy who won AOS single miniature also came flipping second in 40k single miniature.
Ah.
And the guy who's come second on AOS is the guy who did the Norn Emissary as well. So there's some people walking out with 2 golden demons.
Bloody hell.
Which is insane. I'm actually just scrolling down the rest of the article without looking at the actual minis, just to see if people's names come again. Yeah, there's another name repeating itself. There's another name repeating itself.
I think that Slanesh model might have been from a Warcry.
Maybe. It does have a familiarity, but I can't place it.
I'm positive it's a Warcry miniature.
Could well be.
I'm still looking for it, so...
Yes, anyway, if you continue to suffer, I will keep moving. Gold in AOS unit goes to a unit of Snarlfang Cavalry from Gloomspite Gits. Very new minis, actually. And the red-grey fur that they've done on those minis and the nice shiny armour to reflect the sun is really nice. They're so vibrant and in your face. And the base
as well complements it.
And again, more great basing. What looks like something straight out of Middle-earth, if I'm honest. But then silver, oh my god, those Ideneth.
With the squid.
Yeah, that's a lot more than a Shanktopus. That's a whack you in the skull and knock you into the next dimension opus. That is obscene. I'm biased because I love the Ideneth range, but oh my god. And some of the conversion work they've had to do, like those are Namati collars that normally go on their backs that have been turned into like neck guards instead of going across their backs. And that's a really cool... What's the armour? Like Namati don't wear that kind of amount of armour. Like, where have they got some of this from? And then they've got the lanterns and these long pole arms and a conch staff that I don't. There must be a unique tiecaster thing. There must be a unique tiecaster mini that has that staff, because that's not the normal tiecaster staff.
No.
Like, the amount of work that's gone into making these Landmari blades look unique, and the different armor and the... Oh my days. Like, I know I'm biased. And look at the texture work on the Shanktopus. Like, flipping heck.
And...
Like, yeah.
Yeah, okay, just moving on, otherwise we'll be stuck on this one all day.
Yeah, all right.
The third place vampire one, I love the lighting effects from the torches. That's
it's
gorgeous.
the Crimson Court Underworld's warband, actually. It's the Crimson Court, which are always great minis. I remember them coming out.
Yeah. Regardless, the lighting effect from those lanterns is fantastic.
Yeah, object source lighting is so hard, and I wish I could do it.
Yeah.
I wish I could do it myself, but I can't.
Well done
I won't
to
even
everyone.
try.
Yeah. Next up, AOS Large Mini or War Machine.
Yep, it's... I've forgotten his cocking name, the non-binary one.
The guy riding the griffin with the gimp mask.
Yes, the Executioner.
Yeah.
And I've forgotten their name, but again, look at the non-metallic metalwork going on the gold, and look at the fabric on the not griffin's head.
Look at the snow and the ice.
Oh my days, the snow and ice. Like, do you remember the water effects paint that came out? I remember that being seeing that thing. That's the best thing since sliced bread. That's just been eclipsed into oblivion. The colour contrast of that regal blue and the cold non-metallic gold really has this vibe of an executioner in the ice. It's really good.
Second place, it's that Vermin
Screech
Lord
Vermin
special
King.
character. Yeah, that's his name.
Screech Vermin King.
Yeah.
Very different colour scheme with the bright orange
more fleshy
fur.
tones. Yeah.
Agreed, which is a lot more unsettling when you see it that way. But the armour looks really nice, and the rust and the dents in the armour are insane. And then bronze is a Free Guild General? Again, non-metallic gold.
It's the other mod. It's the Griffin's the same Griffin from the first one, just with a different head option. I think.
Yeah, and then they've swapped out the Stormcast for a Free Guild.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
That's really nice. That's really nice.
Okay. Next up, we have Horus Heresy, and it's a Night Lord's Praetor.
That looks like an Alpha Legionnaire with that colour.
I can see why, but it's got the Night Lord symbol on the shoulder, and that's definitely.
Oh yeah, I can see it's a Night Lord, but that colour is the colour of Alpha Legion. They're not midnight. That's flipping turquoise.
I think it's meant to be because of the lighting as well, potentially. Because there's also object source lighting like around the chains and that as well. It looks like on the base.
Yeah, actually, I see where you're coming from. Admittedly, I don't remember the Night Lords ever quite recruiting zombies.
Second place is Araman, which looks almost comic book style. Like, it looks like it's painted.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's painted, obviously, but it looks like it's painted on paper, kind of thing.
It does, yeah. And you zoom in on it, especially, like, it looks 2D. It looks like a 2D drawing of a 3D character.
That's awesome.
Except it's not. And the lightning arcing between the horns. Oh, God, that's cool.
And third is Fulgrim Transfigured. Honestly,
More cold non-metallics.
I have to say, this is the first one I've seen where I disagree on gold. I think the Araman should have won gold in this.
Yeah. And you're a Night Lords player.
Yeah, I'm a Night Lords player. I'm a Night Lords fan. But I think Araman should have got... Also, if you look at his open hand, like, the lighting in his hand. The blue lighting around the eyes as well. It's like, yeah, that
and
that
there's
should have
lightning
won.
sparking off the eyes into the helm as well.
That should have won. I'm sorry.
That's our opinion, and we're sticking to it.
Yep. For Warhammer the Old World, we have
Oh my God, it's a Chaos Dwarf.
It is a Chaos Dwarf on a Lamassu, I'm pretty sure they're called.
I can't remember the name of the big bull thing. Sorry.
It's not the Great Taurus, it's the other one, the one that's got like a dwarf face.
And wings.
Yeah. Again, the Great Taurus has wings as well, but same basic creature. In second place, it is Grombrindle.
Again.
And third place, a Khemri Lich Priest.
Yeah, actually, I really like there's a narrative touch here because I feel like I remember hearing a thing about how before battle the Tomb Kings would go out and read out like some proclamation, including all the titles and accomplishments of their liege. And I feel like that's a thing. I feel like I've seen that somewhere too with Cetra in particular.
Just
And this, guys, and this parchment is like literally running down. It's got scarabs crawling all over because it's so fucking long.
And scorpions.
And scorpions, yes.
Also, for the Chaos Dwarf, again, the object source lighting, like the lava seeping through the cracks in the base. That's gorgeous.
So cool. It's so cool.
Well deserved number 1, that one. Well done, Raphael.
Agreed. Middle Earth, Aema.
Yeah, I'll take your word on that.
No, it is. It's Aema.
Okay.
That, I think, is Gil-galad, though I'm willing to be wrong. I love the horse. The horse looks amazing on Gil-galad. I'm going to assume it's Gil-galad. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And then... No, even I can't get this
Elrond?
one. Possibly Elrond? Looks nothing like Hugo Weaving, though.
Or the other guy.
But yes.
Blood
Maybe.
Bowl. Big Ogre for Blood Bowl being number 1.
Yeah, I mean, again, look at the armour. There's non-metallic, metallic blue.
How do you even do that?
I don't know. I don't fucking know. Then you've got a...
Team, the Blue Chippers.
Real mix of characters there. I don't even know if that's a legal team, but it's got a Death Roller, and therefore it's immediately cool.
And in third, it's another Chaos Dwarf with a blunderbuss.
Oh, I've seen that mini before.
And
I forget
again,
his name.
The source lighting for the actual fire coming out of the smoke. That is beautiful.
It looks like a bomb going off, as it should.
A gunshot, yeah. Honestly, I'm torn between this and the actual first place, because they're both equally good.
It depends on what you want, really. I think the judges this year clearly like non-metallic metal. I think I'm picking up a theme here. They really like non-metallic metals.
Okay, that away.
Necromunda, you've got some kind of Ogrin with 1,000,000 bionics.
Ogrin Servitor.
Doesn't look lobotomized.
That's because Ogrin Servitors aren't lobotomized. They're dumb enough as it is already.
They're just that dumb. Okay.
Yeah, that's literally the reason. Ogrin, like, when ogres are turned to servitors, they're not lobotomized because they're too dumb as it is. If they made any dumber, they wouldn't get anything done.
Yeah, and again, look at the base with that looks like toxic waste and the rats on the sewer. Yeah.
That's awesome. And then you got the one of the squats.
Ironhead Prospector.
Yeah. And a
corpse merchant. One of the corpse grinder.
I'm pretty sure it's actually a hanger-on rather than a corpse grinder.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
No, it's a corpse merchant.
Right, sorry.
Because there's a hanger-on who you can add to your gang who will recycle your corpses to buff your guys up.
Yeah.
And I think it's him.
They all look fantastic, especially with the base work. Everyone did a fantastic job with the bases. My only criticism about the winner, is that for Necromunda, it looks way too clean. The model itself, that actual Ogrin, he looks way too clean for it to be Necromunda. Like, if he was a little bit grimier, I'd be fine with it, but it's still exceptionally well done. I just think he's a bit too clean for Necromunda.
I see what you're getting at.
For Epic, we have the Iconoclast Titan.
Yeah, love the background work done there of the planet of flame.
You even got a little guardsman by his foot for scale.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that.
There's a guardsman on the other one too, but oh my god, the silver entry should have won. I'm sorry, I'm not even arguing this.
Before I even look at it, I was like, can you also appreciate the fact that it's also got like a semi-3D background with some of the construction equipment?
Terrain.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's terrain on it. And I can see why it won, but look at silver and tell me why this hasn't won. Tell me why this hasn't won.
Yeah, I agree. And that's even got a little guardsman like standing off against it.
Yeah, just looking at it, I am so unbelievably dead.
Do you know, I swear I've seen this exact scene before in Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. That little guy with the gun, that's Carter Grayson. Like, you go, come on, you motherfucker, bang, bang, kind of thing. And in third place, we have a Valkyrie.
Bear in mind, this is on epic scale, so every single thing of that is too petite tiny.
Yeah.
How the fuck have they picked all that detail out? How the fuck?
I'm going to assume with a very fine brush and a magnifying glass.
Probably.
But very tight choice between first and second, because I love the fact that first is like a little mini diorama. It's more so than the second.
But if you want an actual diorama, the cutest thing ever won gold. Look at that Bretonnian knight / King Arthur kind of guy with his horse having a cutesy moment.
That's awesome.
So
I love
clever.
that.
That's so clever. That's the horse off the new Cities of Sigmar General. I actually recognise it.
Oh, nice. Second place, it's a snotling facing off against a horde of squigs.
Oh, not facing off. Summoning. With a little horn. Summoning.
With one running away.
Indeed.
And third place is a Gene Stealer cult. I swear that's referencing a famous World War II picture.
It could be. I mean, I had the Crimson Fist Last Stand on Rin's World in my head when I looked at it, but it probably is the one from the World War II picture. You're right. Looking at the way the flag's being planted. Yeah.
And duel, we have a Sisters of Battle Seraphim against an Orc, Xam.
Who is being firebombed into oblivion by jetpacks. That's fucking awesome. Look at the jetpack
And again,
effects.
object source lighting as well. For an explosion.
I know that's lighting effects. It's not actually object source, because object source lighting implies that you paint the rest of the mini as though it's being lit up by that source. But if you look at a jetpack, it's not glowing orange from the flames coming out, and nor is the orcs.
You know what I mean, Miss Pedantic.
Yes, the lighting style is very cool. It's not OSL. Sorry to be a pain in the arse. Then you've got Jetbike versus Cryptek. Which is really cool. It looks like they're trying to hold hands like fucking Michelangelo and... No, not Michelangelo. David and God in Michelangelo's painting. That's just funny to me. I don't know why.
A Plague Marine grabbing a Nid by the tentacles and throwing him.
So, yeah. You are about to go into orbit, my friend. You are going into orbit.
And for Youngblood, okay, this one does have object source lighting.
Yes,
so you can
that is object source lighting. That is OSL.
No, bear in mind, Youngbloods, that's like the under 15s, isn't it?
I don't remember what the upper age limit is, whether it's 15, 16 or 18. I don't know.
Regardless, these are literal children. And an actual child painted this. Holy fuck.
Fuck off. Fuck off. Look at the Typhus that came second. That green literally looks like it's just... but in the best possible way. It's so luminescent.
Honestly, the Blood Angels Terminator in third, I'm not actually that keen on it. It looks a bit too... It's fine, but... I don't know, compared to the other two, it just seems a little bit sloppy in comparison.
I won't go as far as to say sloppy, but it's definitely a bit more basic.
Yeah. But first place, yeah, definitely well-deserved. To the point where it's like, are you sure you painted that? No, I jest. But even so, it's like...
Yeah, the open category, we've got another one of these minis that looks like it's painted. In fact, is it the same guy? Hold on. Let me go back. No, it's not. It's a completely different guy. But look at this giant pigman and tell me that doesn't look like it's painted.
No, I get what you mean. It's an orc ball boy, yep.
Although I think that's a different pig to normal. And the silver is a flash kit.
By someone called Orc Butt. It's like, of course, Orc Butt is painted on the orcs.
Yeah. And then bronze is a full-on, like, epic scale battle going on with dice. It's a representation of people playing Warhammer on a gaming table.
Yeah, Little Horus, it says on the bottom as well. Oh! I think I know what this is representing. I think it's representing that one scene from Angel Exterminatus, where it's revealed that the Iron Warriors are playing games of Warhammer.
Oh my god.
I think this is that.
I mean, I don't know why it's got Imperial Fists and bloody Mechanicum, but the point still stands.
Because these are all Legion Imperialis models.
They are. So this is literally an in-universe game of Warhammer taking place using epic scale minis. That's fucking so clever. With little terrain under the table as well.
That's great.
That's so clever. I'm sorry. Clever.
That should have won, in my opinion.
It's not the best painted thing here, but for sheer creative moxie. Yeah, sheer creative moxie required. Fair play.
And surprising no one, the Slayer Sword went to that absolutely amazing Age of Sigmar model with the snow and the ice. Surprising no one.
I mean, slightly surprising me.
I mean, do you know how hard it is to get ice effects on a model?
No, I mean, yeah. It is probably the best mini here, but...
And look even close up, it had like actual like cherry blossoms mixed into the snow with the griffin trampling on it and stuff. Fuck me. Well deserved.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Golden Demon for you. Fucking insane.
Insane indeed. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. Anyway, what else is in the news? What else we've been going through for about an hour and 10 minutes now. Fuck me.
Indeed. Necromunda has got some new bits, a couple of ne'er-do-wells, hangers-on, which is to do with the...
Oh, there we go. Okay.
The Whisper Merchant and the Psychoteric Thrall.
Yes. Basically, these guys... if you ever play Mass Effect 2, Lair of the Shadow Broker, these guys are like mini Shadow Brokers, essentially. They sell secrets and information.
The Whisper Merchants do, yes.
Yes. And his Thrall basically looks like he's got a metal moustache, even though it's not a metal moustache.
Oh, that isn't his.
I know it's not.
No, as in the Thrall doesn't belong to the Whisper Merchant.
No, it belongs to Delac, I believe.
Yeah, the Psychoteric Thrall is connected as to some ancient Xenos called the Psychoterica. So if you've played Mass Effect 3 and the Leviathan DLC, it's like they're controlled by the Leviathans. Or you consider it indoctrinated by the Reapers if you're sticking with just Mass Effect in general.
Yes.
Cursed to wander in a dreamlike state and then rounded up as they are useful conduits for psychic energy.
Yep, that's very Delac-y. Oh, how Delac. Oh, speaking of Necromunda, because this is what I learnt recently as well. Did you know someone on Necromunda actually succeeded in building a time machine?
No, but that doesn't even surprise me a single bit.
Just the fact that, oh, by the way, thanks to Necromunda, time machines are now canon.
Time travel has always been canon, but time machines...
Yeah, time travel, yeah, but there's a difference between time travel and a time machine. Which is it just makes it even funny when it's an actual time machine.
Yeah. Agreed.
What else do we have? We had some Heresy
Tarantula
Thursday
missile
stuff.
batteries.
Yep. That's part of the Heresy Thursday stuff. Yep. Tarantula missile batteries.
I mean, basic
And we
enough.
also had some new knights for the Legions Imperialis as well.
Oh, I think I forgot to open that link. I'll go find it.
I got you, fam. I got you. There you go.
Ah, Knights Atropos and Asterius. Yes, I've heard of those.
Yes, the thick boys.
Yes, I also want to give Games Workshop a shout out for their April Fool's prank article, which is
the tactical rock.
a tactical rock base for human scale.
And people were complaining about the fact it wasn't real. So I want this.
Yeah, somebody on a social media was like, be honest, if this was real, you would absolutely buy 100 of these, wouldn't you? And most were like, yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. I just noticed. Black Library Reader's Choice.
Where?
It is right here.
Oh, there. Got it.
So we get to choose which books.
Ooh, that's hard.
Ooh, yeah. So the nominations this year for Black Library Reader's Choice for 40k, we have Death Watch by Steve Parker,
Great
Mephiston, Blood Sanguinius by Darius Hinks.
Haven't read that one, but the other two Mephiston books are great.
Yep. Salamander by Nick Kime.
Legendary.
Warlord Fury of the God Machine by David Annandale.
Never read it.
And The World Engine by Ben Counter. I have a feeling that one's going to win. I reckon that one's going to win.
Probably.
And for Warhammer Fantasy, we have Grudgebearer by Gav Thorpe.
Mm-hmm.
Orion the Vaults of Winter by Darius Hinks.
Mm-hmm.
Sigvald, also by Darius Hinks.
Yeah, I mean, Sigvald's a cool character.
Yep. Neferata by Josh Reynolds.
Will probably win.
And Blood of Venerium by William King. It's William King. That one should win by default. It's William King.
True. Beating Bill King is hard.
Yeah. And you can make your votes now. So who are you going to vote for?
Well, I already own Death Watch. I might go for Mephiston because I've read the other two Mephiston books. The Necron one and the Thousand Suns one. I've read them. I haven't actually read Blood of Sanguinius.
Ah.
As for the other one, I mean, Tyrion and Teclis. It's not because it's Bill King, it's because it's Tyrion and Teclis.
Yeah. Fair enough. Speaking of books, Usheran's getting a novel.
Yes. So he's getting one of the fancy books with the fancy covers.
That's a gorgeous cover. That is gorgeous.
Indeed. So it's Dale Lucas, who is very, very good at writing Sigmar. They wrote a lot of the Lumineth stuff. Very, very good author. And the idea is that a master patriarch enters a battle of wits and wills against Usharan.
Ooh.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
Also, that book's not fabric. It's not a fabric cover, thank fuck. Oh.
But yes, either way, the book sounds very cool, but actually there's a collection of David Annandale's stuff coming out as well in Soulblight Masters of Death. So the Neferata AOS minis, a Dynasty of Monsters, which is also David Annandale, which is the Avangori Laukavai novel, as well as the Kado Ezekiar novels.
Your favourite character, Kado Ezekiar, your favourite character.
Boring. So boring.
If only he was Kado is Elijah, and he goes like, who wants to walk with Elijah?
Oh dear.
It's a shame that Henry took his job. No. Henry took his job.
They're together now. They did a bloody dual concert the other week.
They did, yeah.
However, if you want to cut a more characterful promo of your own, then the LARP gear, the cosplay stuff, has started to be released by Berg Schneider. So, here's what's going on. As of now, there is a pre-order going for the Nuln kit, where you've got the various swords and armor, different units, as it were. But they're also doing an order soon for Flamberg and Galmaraz, so you can get your own cosplay Galmaraz in May. June, there's some accessories. This year, they're hoping to do Marienburg and Altdorf as well, which is really cool. And then Middenheim and Talabheim towards the end of the summer, and then other colours and a wider armour range in the autumn. So it's a real nice mix of replica weaponry and armour that is going to be coming out all this year. If you want to sort of do some stuff like that, or cut a promo like you were the Emperor Karl Franz or something.
I'm going to look to see how much some of the weapons cost. So you're looking at about upwards of £100 for a weapon.
For one sword.
Yeah. And for the actual, the jerkins, you're looking about upwards of £90.
Oof.
Unless you just want sleeves. If you just want sleeves, then they're about £40.
Oof.
Good news. The hat is about £18.
Oh, wow.
Well,
so
one
cheap.
hat is. Other hats can go about £35.
Jesus.
Trousers about £70. Shirts £70. It's all on page 1, by the way. And a jerkin £100. I can only imagine how expensive the armor's going to be.
Yeah, I couldn't even keep track of the numbers in my head.
Basically, be prepared to pay up.
I mean, what did you expect?
They're very nice. They're very high quality, it looks like. But yeah, it's like, ugh, yeah. It's almost the same as a large character model. Hey, well.
Ouch.
So when you put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it could be worse. It could be trying to buy a Weta Workshop thing.
Oh yeah, well, the thing that's big enough to wear for a cat. And it's like £100 before shipping.
Indeed. You're not salty at all, Remleiz.
No, not salty at all. Not at all. Not at all. But anyway, what else do we have in the news? There's not much left, I don't think.
No, I think we've covered it. There's some stuff to do with Soulblight Gravelords. Like there's a new Blood Knight Army of Renown, which I think is cool because you know me, I do like my chunky heavy cavalry. And if I were to play Soulblight, that is exactly what I would do. But that's a personal thing. And then there's a thing about the new Black Talon animations ongoing. There's a a battle scroll patch for AOS.
Mm-hmm.
It's little things, really. And it's March for McCrag. Great.
Or if you prefer, march on McCrag and kill a bunch of Ultramarines. There you go.
Indeed.
Indeed. So, have you been able to read anything as of late, out of curiosity?
I have made my next round of purchases, and I'm currently...
Let me guess, you've pre-ordered in for the Farsight novel?
Yeah.
Good girl.
I have also bought Elemental Council and Hand of Abaddon.
Ah. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on Elemental Council.
Yeah, the problem is I'm only a third of the way through the Wraithbone Phoenix.
Ah.
Fair. And I actually put time in whilst I was travelling and missing the last episode to reading it. And I thought I'd read quite a lot by now. And, like, they've all started the hunt for the Phoenix and they're all just sort of arriving. So the first entire thing I've read so far has all been preamble and setup. And it's been very good preamble and setup, don't get me wrong. But I'm 33% of the way through and no one's even on the boat where the Phoenix lives yet.
Yeah, I had a similar issue with the High Cowl's Oath. Like, there was a lot of talking, but not much actually happening, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's 507 pages.
Oh.
Oh, more. Okay, sorry. It's at 507 pages on the font size that my Apple Books is on.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, if the actual book was that big, it's like, fucking hell.
I don't think it is actually 507 pages. It's probably more like 200 odd, but it's taking a while, and I don't want to give up because I'm actually quite enjoying it. It's actually quite good.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also conscious of the fact that Elemental Council is right fucking there, and Hand of Abaddon is right fucking there, and in about a week, the new Farsight novel is going to be right fucking there.
I mean, you might have to drop Wraithbone Phoenix and just go straight for the Tower books, for the greater good and all that.
That's what's worrying me, and I'm also very aware that it won't be long until the Silent King Last Dawn of Fire book comes out. And I kind of need to be ready, because that's been my job to read Dawn of Fire for the podcast, and I need to be ready. So I also need to crunch out Hand of Abaddon at some point.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But no. It's one of those of, like, it's... When you just haven't had a lot of time to read for a while, you get a bit behind, you get out of the swing. Granted, it's the school holidays now, and I might actually have time. Who am I kidding? I've got a 1-year-old at home. Who am I kidding? But, yeah, I don't know. It's hard.
I get you. I mean, it's like,
What about you?
I haven't had too much of a chance to read through everything. I've started reading through Red Fury for research purposes for an upcoming video. Which is one of the James Swallow Blood Angels books. I've only done the first 2 chapters so far, so not too much to report. I mean, I can talk about it so far because it has been pretty eventful, if you want.
Right.
Yeah. No point having a spoiler warning because the book is fairly old now. Because I'm pretty sure it came out 2008, so nearly 20 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, I'm fine. Okay, so we start off on some random world in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. Rebellion against the Imperium, because of course there is. And
obviously.
There's a rebellion being orchestrated by a group called the Companitas. I'm pretty sure it's meant to be said like, Companitas or whatever, but I just have this Spanish pronunciation in my head for some reason, like Los Companitas. So I'm just sticking with that. Just imagine there's a whole bunch of space Che Guevaras or whatever. Los Companitas. Anyway.
That's fine.
We've got a Blood Angel squad on patrol, led by Sergeant Raffin. And he's got a veteran Devastator in his squad, a new guy, and he's also got 2 penitent Blood Angels in his squad as well, because of what they did during the events of the Archaeo Insurrection. For those wondering, the Archaeo Insurrection was a civil war fought by the Blood Angels when some guy turned around and said, "Hey, I'm the reincarnation of Sanguinius," essentially.
Yes, I remember that. I was about to say, can you remind me what the hell that is? But then you said that, and I now remember.
Yeah. But anyway, they're on patrol, and they see a bunch of dead bodies, like dead civilians, dead PDF, dead Imperial Guard, And then they notice that, hang on, all these bodies, they've been completely drained of blood. But not like in the way of like someone's fell. They're just...
Now, move the wet floor sign to the right.
Sorry.
What was that?
That was the fact I clicked on YouTube and decided to start playing. For no reason.
It's like around talking. It's like, fucking hell.
Sorry. I clicked on YouTube and it just started playing.
Sorry, am I boring you, am I?
No,
I'm joking. But anyway, they find bodies that have been completely drained of blood, but like not in the way like a blood angel's fed on them or anything like that, just like as if it's just been teleported away, as it were. And they think they find movement in this ruined building, so they go to investigate. And it basically go into like this underground car park, for lack of a better term. And they see like a massive pile of dead bodies, like again a massive pile, like about good story tall, all drained of blood. And then they see this woman who they think is crying, but as they get closer, she's laughing, and like she's got the markings of the Companitas on her and all that. She starts laughing and starts walking towards the blood angels, and then the pile of bodies starts laughing, and basically emerges as basically like this giant flesh golem, effectively. And they're like,
yeah, that's not weird at all.
No, open fire, just start shooting the fucking thing. It's probably chaos related somehow. Just shoot the fucking thing.
If in doubt, yes.
Yep. And they're shooting it. And the Blood Angels get a call over the radio saying, you might want to get out of that car park because we're going to bomb it the fuck. I was like, who is it? Just get the fuck out of there. Okay, lads, let's get out of there. They get out just as the car park's leveled by a barrage from a whirlwind. They climb out the rubble because they got some of the rubble still, and then they climb out and they see a group of flesh terrors. And it's like, we're the ones fighting this war. You're just here as like, quote unquote, observers. What the hell were you doing down there in the first place? And the rubble bursts open as the flesh goes like, hi lads, I'm back. And it's like, that's why. It's like, oh yeah, shoot it. Just use the whirlwind to shoot it with the whirlwind. It's like, no, it's going to take too long to reload. All right, well, get the flamers, lads. Just set it all on fire. And in the end, they take like an entire bandolier of crack grenades, set them all to like detonate on impact, and just lob it at the golem. And it goes boom, splatter everywhere. Boom, 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 boom. It's dead now.
Yeah.
And the leader of the Flesh Terrors, who's like a company captain, he basically says like, okay, so yeah, why are you here again? Oh, I have a message for your chapter master coming from my chapter master. What's the message say? I'm not telling you. It's your chapter master's eyes only. It's like,
why not?
Why not? It's like, so you're going to take me to him? It's like, nah, you can give it to me, I'll take it to him. It's like, no, I was told to give it to him, so you're going to take me to him, or I'm going to kick you in the dick. All right, I'll take you to him. But the other guys have to wait outside, essentially. So they take him to like the Flesh Terror's base camp, and Gabriel Seth's there, and Raffin says, okay, I got this message for you from Commander Dante, here you go. Seth opens it up, it's like, oh, your chapter master's overly fucking verbose, can't you just get to the fucking point? Like, he's like saying for those, like, I bequeath you on this day, all sons of Sanguinius, blah, blah, so just get to the fucking point, Dante. Jesus fuck.
Oh, what did you expect? It's freaking Dante. Dante wouldn't even know, like, concise sentence structure if it hits him over the head with a dictionary.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's a blood angel. What did you expect? Exactly.
So the Flesh Terror's captain's like, so what does it say? Oh, he wants to convene a meeting with all the lords of the sons of the blood. What's that mean? All the chapter masters. Oh, okay.
Translation, Dante wants a meeting.
Yeah. Nah, fuck that, I ain't going. What do you mean you're not going? Well, I'm kind of busy, prosecuting a war here. I kind of have to, deal with this. So just fuck off, Rafan. And Rafan's like, no, because I was instructed by my chapter master to bring you to this meeting. So are you going to come or not? No. It's like, yes, you are. Why? Because it's really important. Fine. And that's where I'm at so far.
You see, I wouldn't be surprised if Seth said, I will come when this war is over. And if your instructions are to bring me Mr. Fancy Ball Boy, then what you can do is help me win this fucking war. At which point, fine, I will come with you. But no, apparently not.
No. But that's basically where I've gotten to so far.
I mean, it's a pretty cool setup. You've got a flesh golem getting blown up by everything. And then, oh god, cousin drama. That's just what a flesh terror needs on his day off. Cousin drama.
Yep. Oh dear. But yeah, I'll say, really good so far. I'm excited to continue reading it.
Yeah, I think I am going to, much as I don't appreciate it, I'm probably going to leave Wraithbone Phoenix for a bit and come back to it in terms of I want to read Elemental Council quickly.
Go for it. Shall we move on to questions then?
Indeed. There's not really that many. It's mostly just people saying how amazing Voldemort is. That's like 90% of the comments.
Fair enough.
Which is not untrue. Oh no, here's one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This person is of the opinion that the Heresy 40k separation of the Mechanicus is actually a good thing, and can see why they want to differentiate the two, the Mechanicum and the Mechanicus, from a fluff standpoint. But other than putting stuff from Heresy into Mechanicus, what would you like the Mechanicus to get?
Well, you know my answer. Fires of Syraxis, please. That's old Heresy Era Automata, playable in 40k. I want my Vorax.
No, it says without adding stuff from Heresy. No Vorax.
I'd like for them to actually get some, tanks similar to the 30k ones, even if they're not, one-to-one replicas or anything like that, but something in a similar vein that fills a similar role, similar niche. Because what big vehicles do they have? They have, the hovercraft, don't they?
They have the hovercraft, they have the dune crawler, and they have the I nearly called it a helicopter. It isn't. It flies. It flaps its wings to fly. The Archaeopter.
I was going to call it the Ornithopter, but that's Dune.
No, Archaeopter. So yes, you've got the hovercraft. You've got the Onager, and you've got the Archaeopter. They definitely don't have heavy artillery in the same sense. What they have is the dune crawlers. That's the nearest thing they have to a heavy artillery tank. That's for sure.
Yeah, but you could argue that the dune crawler is basically analogous in purpose to a dreadnought or something. You could argue.
The gun is a bit bigger. I'd probably argue it's more on the level of a Predator in terms of how hard its gun hits. And it can stomp on things, but it's not a melee unit like a Dreadnought can be. Don't even get it twisted.
I mean, if you give a Dreadnought 2 guns, then it also can't really do much in combat, but hey.
Also true. I think for me, I'd love to see them do more with the Explorator fleets. I know that they've done the Techno-Archaeologist, as we've seen with the Kill Team today, and other things like that. But I think, it would be a really cool kill team to have a Mechanicus-aligned, heavily augmented rogue trader and a deliberately designed Explorator warband for kill team. I think that would be a really cool place to go with the Mechanicus. Or the other option is using the motive force in a different way, because I'm on the record as not particularly liking electro priests because I find them a bit shit. But I think the idea of using the motive force and lightning powers is a really cool place to go. So some kind of tech priest whose whole thing is mastery over the motive force, where his whole thing is he can use almost like spells, but it's a gun, obviously, that if it hits an enemy unit, they're hit with paralysis and have to halve their move for the next phase, or he can shoot at a friendly unit, and if it hits, it gives them +3 move in the next turn, or gives them an automatic extra free move in the shooting phase. Or he can energize his allies to make them faster, because the Mechanicus are frickin' slow. Yes, they've got cavalry now, and I love the fact they've got cavalry. Skitarii are a great faction, and I think they're really cool. But I think something to do with the motive force on the human side could be quite cool. But then with Skitarii, like, I feel like I would say a Skitarii melee unit, but the problem is A, Ruststalkers exist, and B, Sekitarii are banned because they're heresy unit. I would love to see Sekitarii back, but nah. That's my take. Also, why do we not have god-specific dreadnoughts for the different god-aligned legions? Because GW hates fun.
Because they used to be done by Forge World. And Forge World doesn't exist anymore.
Well, yeah, that too, but mostly because GW hates fun.
Yeah.
Like, come on. The Thousand Suns with Psychic Dreadnoughts. They already have fucking Psychic Dreadnoughts. Just do it. Hell Brutes that have been corrupted. Also, the fucking Sonic Dreadnought.
Yeah, I know.
Where's the Sonic...
That's like the biggest wasted opportunity. I mentioned this with Baltimore last episode, but an omission from the new Emperor's Children Codex that they should have added, because it would have been perfect, the Infernal and Rapturous. Imagine like having a musical demon with noise marines.
You can play demons in Emperor's Children.
Yeah, but you can't play the Infernal and Rapturous. That's not on the army list.
Exactly. Oh, right, yes. Yes, sorry, of course. You can play Slanesh demons, but not all of them.
Exactly, yeah. The Infernal and Rapturous isn't in the army list. Yeah.
My poor Seeker Chariot.
But don't you think like having the Infernal and Rapturous would be perfect for Emperor's Children?
100%.
Anyway, next question.
If a Drukhari defects from Comorra and, say, becomes a Corsair, do they still need to do power through pain to sustain themselves?
I think this is actually answered in one of the Path of the Eldar books. I think it's like Path of the Warrior. Because I'm fairly sure you have an Incubi who becomes a Striking Scorpion in that.
Really?
I'm fairly sure.
Fair enough. I will take your word.
If that's the case, they probably just get a Spirit Stone and it's like, there you go. They don't have to worry about it anymore.
That works. And it also says, can other Eldar learn the Drukhari psychic vampirism through torture technique? I mean, I assume so, because defection is a thing.
I would assume so as well. Let me just see if I can find anything that says it. Where is it? It features a former Incubi named Bakarev, who now pursues the Path of the Warrior as a Striking Scorpion.
Huh.
So there you go.
Neat.
Go check out Path of the Warrior then. There you go.
Okay, this is a little bit going down the rabbit hole, but let's go with it. So, now that we know that the Great Gun, obviously, has Tyranids below it, Ravena Kill Team, and the monster on Fenris is implied to be a Tyranid, what?
The Kraken.
Hang on. Kraken.
Yeah, Fenrisian Kraken.
Yeah, I knew that. I remember that, but at what point was it implied to be a Tyranid?
It was implied quite a while back, in fact. Because I think they found that big bit of flesh called the Kraken's Egg, and I think that someone did a test on it and they said it looks very much like Nid DNA, I think. I could be misremembering though. It has been a while.
Not fair. And since Gene Stealers go ahead before the High Fleets, does this mean Tyranids have been in the Milky Way before, or did they just send random-ass ships millions of years ahead?
I think it was kind of like a spray and pray in all directions. Just go out and see if you can find something, kind of thing.
And then if you find something, give us a ring. Yeah,
kind of, because there's always been the implication that the Catachan Devil was a Nid, that basically gone feral, essentially. That was always an implication, never explicitly confirmed, but heavily implied. I think it was just a spray and pray thing from the High Fleets from like millions of years ago, and some of them just went feral, which is why they never sent a psychic signal.
Maybe. I mean, it makes sense, the idea of, but that implies then, obviously we know the Tyranids, we don't know when the Tyranids left their last galaxy, but Tyranids don't exactly move fast.
No, but what it could do, they could basically just, if they just say shot out just like a cannonball of spores and the momentum just carries it, even if the ships themselves are moving really slow, you've got something that's been shot with the velocity of a gun or something, that's going to go a bit faster. Yeah, but the fact that obviously the Fenrisian Kraken predates the colonization of Fenris, so we're going back, obviously for human history, not that long, it's only about 10,000 years, but then that implies that the Tyranids basically
have been around for...
Oh, I just remembered. The events of the novella Devourer, because there's a scene in that, because you know that book's got a tomb world being invaded by Nids. There's a scene in that.
I remember.
There's a scene in that where a cryptid literally opens up like, you know, a time gate and just sends a whole bunch of Nids through all the way back to the war in heaven. So there you go. There you go. There's your answer. That's how it happened.
God, the Nids have genuinely been around that long.
Due to time warping shenanigans thanks to chronomancers, yes.
Great.
But again, this is purely due to chronomancy bullshit.
Yeah. Shock. Ah well. At least we know.
Yes.
Right. For today's cursed monkey paw question, I pose you this challenge.
Oh god.
You can bring back a great rule, or older, better version of a current one, but must also bring a stupid, broken one back.
Ooh.
I've got this right off the bat. I would like to get... I've always missed it for a very long time. I think it sort of does exist now, but I miss Furious Charge. The way Furious Charge worked, +1 strength on the charge. I know that's so bitch basic, but it made the charges actually mean something in Orcs, for example.
Yeah.
And it was a way to differentiate the Blood Angels had gone Red Thorus because they got Furious Charge. Or things like that. It wasn't just, oh, hey, we hit harder, but not all the time. You had to actually, it made sense. As for the rule I would bring back, I'll go with two options. One logical, one stupid.
I thought that was the rule you were bringing back.
No, that's the good one.
Oh, right.
I have to bring back a stupid one.
All right, sorry.
And the stupid one is Sweeping Advance.
Yeah.
Although, because it was so dumb. But actually, the run I really want to bring back is, I've said this before on the podcast, I actually really like Decurions. Like, the detachment systems of Decurions. I actually really like them. I know that's probably going to get me shot, but I actually really like Decurions. The way that they were built, they gave you a wide army, wide rule, and then you had a subset of units with special benefits. Like, the detachment system the 40k has now is fine, but, like, when you could hybridize different units from different detachments under one super detachment, I thought that was really fucking cool, and it led to narrative-themed army building, which I'm all here for. Didn't have to think that hard. I could just build a narratively themed army that was also fucking cool because it had unique rules for different sets. I just think they're neat. Okay?
For a rule I want to bring back, instinctive behaviour for Nids.
Oh, that's such a good shout.
I love the instinctive behaviour rules.
Oh, God, yeah. 5th edition instinctive behaviour was hilarious. That's such a good shout.
As for a dumb rule, God, I don't really know, to be honest.
Psychic cards from 2nd edition?
That's less a rule, more of a system, so probably a bit much. I know. And this was a very short-lived rule because it only existed in White Dwarf before Chaos actually got their own Codex in 3rd edition. Making Thousand Suns Terminators immune to strength 4 or lower weapons. That was such a dumb rule. Because it was like... Because these are like beta rules for Chaos in 3rd edition before they got their Codex, but after 3rd edition came out, so it was like... Mark of Khorne, you got +1 strength. Mark of Slaanesh, you got +1 attack. Mark of Nurgle, you got +1 toughness. And Mark of Tzeentch, immune to strength 4 or lower weapons.
Stupid.
It was stupid, yeah.
Stupid.
But yeah, bring back instinctive behaviour though. That was awesome.
Yeah, actually.
It was fun as well. It was fun.
Yeah, and actually, you said instinctive behaviour, and do you know where my brain went as this was cool? Actually, the old chapter tactics. And the old orders system, and I can't believe I'm about to say the overlapping Overwatch bullshit the Tau used to do. Because I'm not saying that was a good rule, but it was fucking hilarious. But a tuned up version of supporting fire that actually wasn't totally abusable. Ah, well.
Well.
Right.
Honourable mention, bringing back sustained fire dice. If you remember.
We have sustained hits, where if you roll a 6 to
fire
hit,
dice.
you get an extra.
Basically, roll a dice. You got 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots, or jam.
Weapon jamming, basically.
Yeah, but you rolled a dice, see what happened. See how many shots you got. Using a special dice.
Right. Oh, why did we miss the most obvious rule to bring back?
What?
Fucking pie plates.
Oh, templates. I love the templates.
Yeah, me too. Flamer templates were fucking broken, but also hilarious. Nowadays, it's just, I have flamers. They have a 12-inch range, which is longer than the old flamer template. That was 8 inches. And also, I get D6 hits immediately, and it auto hits, and you're all dead now. I actually found myself missing the old flamer template when I watched my battlesuits get melted by flamers that would have absolutely no right doing that much fucking damage in the old rules. But also running Tau battlesuits with triple flamers. Nowadays that's just 9d6 auto hits. Back in the day it was 3 counts of manually aiming templates to get maximum bullshit. It was fun, and scatter dice were fun, and the shock attack gun with the scatter dice was fucking fun, alright? Oh,
the vortex grenade.
Oh, the vortex grenade.
Oh, good times.
Oh, God, there's so many fluffy old rules. Not necessarily the most balanced things in the world, but fuck me, they were fun. They were just fun, and they made every army feel unique. And that's what I think 40k, especially in the transition to 10th, missed. And I think it's partly because I was playing such baby games of, it's 5 Marines versus 10 Marines and some tower here. But my God, getting into the nitty gritty of, here's my faction rules, here's my detachment rules, here's my unit rules, and actually building up an army. God, I missed that for a while. And I think that's why I've got this harkening back for Decurions that I mentioned, because army building now just feels like throw a pile of shit at a wall and see what sticks and pick the best detachment that suits it. That's fine. By the way, did you see the new detachment they gave the Tau? It's called the Experimental Weapon Cadre. It gives the entire army -1 AP. It's fucking stupid.
Fucking hell.
It's so fucking stupid, and I'm here for it all day, every day. I also tried to run the auxiliary Grotmus cadre as well, but the funny thing is you actually have to play Tau in it to make it work, because the unit's like Tau synergistic with Kroot and Vespid, and Kroot and Vespid synergistic with pure Tau. You can't actually run a pure auxiliary detachment unless you run the Kroot hunting pack, which doesn't benefit Vespid at all. So, that's annoying. But I did play the auxiliary army for fun, and I got to absolutely munch this Space Marine player by just running at them with Kroot and Vespid, and it was fucking hilarious.
Nice. Nice. And on sorry, go.
There's one more question, but it's a bit of an open one. We're at 1 hour 47. I think we've got time to sneak it in, but if you don't want to answer it, I can understand.
No, we can do it.
Right, this is going to be a bit of an open one. How, if at all, do you think 40k may change when the world of 40k becomes more important than the minis? So, the example being Marvel. The characters make more money than the comics. What happens?
I have no bloody idea.
No, me neither. But it's an interesting question, with what Warhammer's trying to do with becoming more mainstream with the Amazon show. Like, honestly, as much as I trust Henry Cavill with the Amazon show, I know that it will completely warp people's view of Warhammer and could have a serious effect on, people's perception of the game going in if they want to get interested in it, into the game, into the lore, into everything. And if that continues to happen with things like Space Marine 3, which I know they're developing, and other stuff, I get what this question is asking, but it's such an open question.
Yeah, I don't even know how to answer that, sorry.
No, it's fair. But yeah, I think what will be interesting is because obviously Marvel is a different beast, where it was written literature turned into movies, and then the characters got over like Rover. And that's fine because people decided superhero and comic book movies were cool. The difference there is Marvel had a wide, diverse range of source literature and decided to do whatever they wanted with it, and also write their own stuff. And that was done through their studios, and it really depends on how much of creative control GW keep over the writing. Because if the writing is done by Black Library people and super fans like Henry Cavill, then actually the perception of 40k won't change much. And yes, the films might make more money than the game does eventually if they are successful, and the TV show is more lucrative than the minis. Does that mean the games stop? No, comic books are still being made and sold today. But it would be interesting to see how GW evaluate their resources, and also depends on how their business deals work. I don't know. But I don't foresee the game team probably being that influenced by the success of the wider franchise. Maybe it just means they'll have more staff to make the game they want to make. Or maybe they'll make spin-off games that are sort of set within the mini-verse of the movie, where you can make a licensed game based purely on, this is what you saw in the show. If you want to play what you saw in the show, here's a box game with everything you need. I could see them doing that. I mean, they did it with Space Marine 2, as here's Titus and 10 Termagants in the most bitch basic game you've ever seen, but it kind of counts.
Yeah.
But we'll see, I suppose. And it is such a vague and open question that it's impossible to answer at this time.
Yeah, sorry.
All
So,
right.
on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we shall call it there for this evening. So, thank you very much to everyone who tuned in for this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, this has been Remleiz from 40k Theories.
And this has been Neve from Tactica Imperialis.
And we'll see you all again soon. Bye-bye.